I'm Jessica Brown, and thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming to my channel, please like and subscribe. Today I'm going to talk about homeschooling, the basics, how you, I'm going to answer a few questions that I've been asked first, and then how you get started. It's really easy. I am in my pajamas. I have shot this video 3 times, and the first time it was 20 minutes. The second time it was like 6 minutes, and the third time was like 5 minutes. Now I'm trying to be more concise, and the reason why I shot it a couple of times is because I keep getting more questions, and I'm trying to put all those questions in one video. But what I've decided to, I'm just going to break up the videos, different topics. So we're going to be talking about homeschooling a lot on this channel. So if homeschooling is something that you desire to do, or if you're already doing it, please subscribe and like and join the conversation, because I can use all the help that I can get. And also I want to help those that are trying to start homeschooling, and we can create some type of nice homeschool community here on my YouTube channel. So I am going to get started. I'm going to first start off by answering some of the questions that I've been asked. And the first question is, at what age can you start homeschooling, and at what age did I start homeschooling? So you can start homeschooling at the age of 6. As soon as the kids are supposed to be enrolled in public school or private school, you can start homeschooling. So that is not, sorry, my phone is dying, so I had to push the close button. It's a low battery. So you can start homeschooling at the age of 6. They have to go somewhere. So if you want to homeschool, you can do it then, or you can put them in school. So I just started homeschooling a year ago. This is my first year, so I am a newbie. I am still sifting through things. I am still learning, and it's all trial and error. So my boys are 9 and 10. They are in 3rd and 4th grade this year, and this is my first time, once again, homeschooling. So they have been in public school this whole time. They did do a private school when they were in kindergarten, when we lived in Wisconsin, a private Christian school, and before that they were in like a private 3K program. The school was a private school, went up to like 6th or 7th grade when we lived in Chattanooga. So I will say that they've always been in great school systems, even in the public school. So that was not a reason why we pulled them out of school. When we were in Miami, they were in a great school system. I love their school. They love their school. So there was no problem there. They actually were tested into gifted program when we were in Miami. So they were actually doing pretty well. So yeah, this is my first year, and they're 9 and 10. I also have a 2-year-old, Judah, and I guess he is being homeschooled with life. Hard knocks. So life is teaching him right now, but I do videos with him, and he's kind of around. So that is the answer to that question. The next question I get a lot is the socialization part. How do I socialize my kids? Well, that is like the least of our worries, of my worries. My kids are very social. Judah's 2, and he stays home, and when we go out, he is more social than kids that I see that go to school. He's saying hi and want to play, and he doesn't throw things at their head, or he's not shy. So I think it depends on the environment you set at home as well. And when you think about it, I mean, if you go to church, you're socialized there. If you have cousins, if you have family members, you're socialized there. You play outside in your neighborhood. If you have community soccer, park ball, football, flag football, tennis, wherever you go, I mean, you're being socialized. So, and some things I don't want them to be socialized on at school. So I think people that, I don't know why that question comes about really. It's a little concerning, because it's kind of like, it's not like when you homeschool your kids, you're locking them up in a room and they can't talk to the outside world. No, they go to the grocery store with you. You take them to the park, you do things with them. So I would not be afraid of the social part if I were you, if you're considering homeschooling and that's one of your hangups. It's just, I think it's one of the least of your worries. So as far as, somebody asked me about sports, can your kids play sports at the local school or at a private school? Yes. Every school is different, every county is different, but mostly yes. Some private schools allow the kids to come in and play sports there. It changes some things though when you're filing your letter of intent with the county though. So that's a different story too. We'll talk about that later. So another question was, what's some other questions? Sports, what age, socialization. Okay, I think that's most of the questions as far as that is concerned, the basics. Now, getting started homeschooling is very easy. I think it's easier than people really probably want to believe. what you do, if you're starting off and they're 6 years old, what you do instead of register them, that's actually the easiest part, the easiest way to do it. If they're just really starting, they've never been registered in a school, you just file a letter of intent to the superintendent's office in your county, and you say you intend to homeschool, and that's it. It's a whole format. Every state has this, I mean, it's the way that you format it, but it's just, I mean, it's a tiny paragraph, and you sign it and you send it in, they accept it. They can reject it. I don't know why they would reject it. I didn't have a problem at all. And that's it. And they'll file it, and you're officially a homeschool program. Now, I believe the requirements are a high school diploma, a GED. I was asked that question. Here, I did send in my college degree, like I took a photocopy, and I sent that in. So, but I don't think that is a requirement to be a college graduate. I think it is high school diploma or a GED. So anybody you can homeschool your kids. They do ask who's homeschooling the kids. Is it the parent? Okay, so now let me back up a little bit, because every state is different. Let's just get that straight. Every state is different. When I moved from Florida to South Carolina here, the laws changed completely. So I had to make sure I was within those parameters of the laws here. I'll just tell you real quick how that worked out. I had to terminate my homeschooling program there. So I had to write a letter and terminate it. And then within 30 days, I had to file for a homeschool program here. And it's different here. Here, you have to either file with this, like kind of be a part of a school, within the school, or you have to be a part of an association and you have to apply. And I applied to association and we got in. So we're a part of an association, almost like a support group. And it helps you stay within the laws, and it just supports you if you have any questions. It's like a little community, and you pay for it yearly. I think we paid like $60 for the family. So it could get a little pricey, but that's just once a year. But in Florida, I did not do that. In Florida, I just filed and I said, I'm the one homeschooling my kids, and that was the end of the story. So you do have to keep your records. You do have to, I think across the board, it's 180 days of school, like regular public school, that you have to keep up with their curriculum, and you have to have their paperwork and all that kind of stuff. And they say to keep it up for 2 years, because if there seems like a problem with, the education, they can come in and the county can come in and they want to see your stuff. So keep your records. But I will say every state is different. So the first thing I will do is, if I were you, if you're considering homeschooling, is to research your laws. You can go to hslda.org, hslda.org, and you can pick on your state, and it will tell you right there. It's just one page, and it'll tell you your options for your state and how to do it. And as far as like, one of the biggest differences that I have found across the state, other than me being in an association here and not in anything in Florida, is the testing. That was something that I was really stressed out about at the beginning of the year when we started, because I'm like, oh my God, I know in public school, a lot of times they teach to take this test. They'll teach certain things in social studies, certain things in science, because they know it's going to be on the test. I'm homeschooling. I don't know what's going to be on that test. So I might not be teaching those things. So I think one of the biggest things is the testing. In Florida, they had to be tested yearly, which I'm fine with. In South Carolina, under association, they do not. They don't have to be tested. So I am choosing to test them anyway, because I just want to see where they are. I'm not sure if I will continue to do that, but every state is different with testing. I think in Georgia, you have to test them every 3 years. So it's different in that sense. So research the laws. That is the biggest thing. And once you file your letter of intent, now it's on you, baby. Now it's up to you. This is where the work begins. So filing and establishing a homeschool program with the state is not hard. It's the next part is the curriculum, and making sure it's a good fit for your child is trial and error. So I think with my next video, I'm going to talk about the curriculum that we chose, what worked, what didn't work, what I'm going to change, for next year. And I'll also have a video for our summer curriculum. We'll keep talking, we'll keep communicating about homeschooling. And I just want you to keep bringing your questions, and please help me out a little bit. If you have some curriculum that worked for your family, leave it in the comment section so I can check it out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I really think that's it. The biggest part is after you file your letter of intent is when the work begins. So if you want to homeschool, I think you need to see if it's a good fit for your family. that is the biggest thing to me. Does it fit your lifestyle? It's gonna be you. With these kids all day, it's you. And I actually love my kids being home with me. I like being in control of their curriculum. I like being in control of what they're hearing and what they're learning about themselves. I like to be in control of just what they're eating, everything, all of it. So it sounds like I got a control issue, but I don't think that's what it is. I just don't want I don't want them to have to heal from their childhood, you know, when it comes to what they're learning out there in the world early on. So I think that's just the biggest thing. So I'm gonna wrap this up because I was really trying to make this 5 minutes or less, and now we're going on almost 11 minutes. I hope I answered most of your questions for starting and establishing a homeschooling program. Please come back because we're gonna talk about the curriculum and how I found the curriculum and where I order my books from and that type of thing. And I'll probably get that to you by the end of next week. I don't promise. I promise. I'll get it to you by the end of next week. So thanks guys for coming to my YouTube page. And if you have not liked or subscribed, please do so on your way out. Bye.